is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Can you get that?
Yes,
Tell her
we
I'll
got
go
it.
receive.
We got it. You're on. Hello.
Hello. Sorry, my mom just called, so I'm having Sophie answer the phone for me because I'm on this very important interview.
There you go. There you go. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. God, let me tell you what youth and inexperience changes when you watch this team. It is a completely different team. It's fun to watch. They're athletic. They got speed. They run into plays. They run out of plays. They run into mistakes. They run out of mistakes. But I love it because when you look at those guys and you look at Campana and Lassiter and all these other guys, there's just potential, and there's something there at least now that hey man, maybe you can find a couple diamonds in the rough, in a way. And I'm looking at this like, Caleb Martin and Max Struess and, things like that the Heat have been able to unearth guys out of nowhere. And somehow or another, I think Chris Henderson is kind of trying to do the same thing. But I got to say the last month of football it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've had a string now. They've won, they started with the U.S. Open Cup. They did well. They beat,
really
teams
well.
They did really well. And then they tied DC United 2-2. They tied Philadelphia on the road. And then they beat Red Bulls 2-0, which was a huge, huge result for them to beat that team here in Miami. And then, the game against Orlando on Wednesday, which was a very contentious match. They were scoreless after 90 and then 1-1 and then, went down to PKs. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have emerged. Drake Callender has emerged.
God.
He's been one of the top keepers in the league over the last month. He's playing great, and Phil is loving him. And now Nick Marsman, he's injured. He has a back thing, and Phil said yesterday that Nick will be back after the FIFA break. There's a break coming up now until June 19th. After today, they won't play again until June 19th. But when the break is over, Nick Marsman is not automatically getting the starting job. I mean,
why would you? No, it would be a mistake to start Nick Marsman at this point. You do not allow the hot hand to go to the bench. There's no way.
Right. And Phil said yesterday, he even said yesterday that he likes to rotate his field players, but the goalkeeper is all about consistency. And he said, this guy he's the starter until something changes. He's the starter. And then,
by the way, Drake brings athleticism that we have not seen.
And he catches the ball, which is a big thing that Phil has talked about, that, a lot is made these days of keepers with their footwork because they want the keeper to be, part of the offense and to get the offense going from the back and all that. But this guy doesn't just parry. This guy doesn't just push the ball away. He catches the ball. And Phil has mentioned that over and over and over and over, that this is a great skill that he has. And then, other guys, obviously you mentioned Campana. Ariel Lassiter has had a great, a new beginning with this team. He's played great. And Bryce Duke has just turned 21 years old. And, he's got him starting in there, and he runs around and does a lot and has made some good passes.
Can I say something?
He hasn't not learned how to do the PKs yet, but.
No, but this is what I want to talk about here. He misses the PK. And I love Campana.
Oh, yes.
Immediately he comes to console him and shows big-time leadership for a young guy. So, to me, that's what stood out in that moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He grabbed him by the head and was rubbing him on the head like, don't worry, don't worry. We all mess up. Don't worry. And because he was devastated, apparently afterward, he was really, really devastated. And what Phil sort of alluded to was that, they practice PKs all the time in training, and they keep track of who the best ones are, obviously, and that's who they put in. And Bryce Duke, from what I could gather, he always kicks the free kick, shoots the free kicks the same way. But at the last second there, he decided to make a change. And Phil was saying, like, you don't do that. Like, you need to do exactly what you always do, what you've trained to do. And when you decide at the last moment that you're going to change and do it different, that's when things get screwed up. So it seems like maybe, he normally has a type of strike, that he likes to do for PKs. And right there, under the lights in the heat of the moment, he changed. And that's when, it looked.
Well, Yedlin stayed back and he soared that thing. And it was like, yo, dude, come on, man.
He should know better.
You got to follow.
He should know better. He should know better. But he's been a great addition to the team. Yedlin has really become like a captain of this team. All the players look up to him. He's always the de facto captain when Gregory isn't there. So he's been a great addition to the team. A lot of speed between him and Lassiter and Bryce Duke. Campana, they all have speed. They go back, they defend, they attack. And then Robbie Robinson, we'll see. He's been in and out with injuries, this and that.
Are you ready here? Robbie Robinson, Bam Adebayo, Sasha Barkov, and Jonathan Huberdeau. They all need to go see the Wizard. Okay?
Yeah.
They all need courage, bro. I don't know what it is about those guys, but
it's someone who obviously has.
They need a gut check. You know what I mean? Because I'm watching Bam and I'm going, dude, are you watching your teammate named Jimmy Butler? Like, has that not inspired you? You're younger, healthier. I'm watching that. With Robinson, with Robbie, it's like, we know you're talented, kid, but like, where's the fire? Where's the heart? Where's the desire? Where is that physicality that you're going to need at times to be a really good forward.
Right. No, and also just to play through some pain too, because, part of being an athlete is playing through pain. Even my daughter, she would play through sprained ankles this big around because she didn't want to miss the game. She was so, and you don't want to let down your teammates. And
Amen.
Robbie does seem to, he gets injured and then he misses 3 games. And then, he gets bumped in the head and he misses another 3 games. And, so we'll see what happens. He's available for tonight. He did not get to play Wednesday because he was suspended because of the wrestling takedown in the previous U.S. Open Cup game. But he is available tonight. One of the things Phil was saying yesterday is that for the game tonight, everybody, pretty much everyone but Marsman is available, and that the bench is going to be so deep and so strong, and that he's been really going back and forth about who he's going to start because everybody wants to play. Everyone's hungry to play and everybody's fit.
Yeah, but we got screwed, dude, because like Campana comes in, you think he's going to play only a few minutes to finish out that game. And then we go into overtime and the poor man has to add another 30 minutes.
Right.
And I'm cringing going, damn, dude, they play Portland. And by the way, why did they schedule us on a Saturday and not schedule us on a Sunday?
Right.
I mean, that part also I don't understand by the MLS. It's kind of like watching hockey and, we're going to have a back-to-back in the playoffs. What is wrong with you people? Like, are you serious?
The scheduling's been crazy. Yeah, they've played.
But don't tell me you care about players' health and then you do shit like this. It's like, that's not fair. So tonight, this is weird because, I mean, I feel for Campana. He's our horse. But, do you play him the whole game after what he went through on Tuesday?
Right. And G. Mota played 131 minutes. He was cramping. At the end of the game, he was cramping. Mabika was cramping. These guys were cramping up. And now they have a big game. This really is a big game for them. They could huge game. They're up to number 10 now. They moved up from 14 to 10. And with 3 more points, they're pushing up there, toward the playoff line, which is where they want to be. I hope they, the crowds have been so. They need to really build.
You know how it is in this town. You got to win, man. You got to entertain. And unfortunately, they killed all their momentum from the start.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Then now you have to convince people. Not me, not the hardcore 7,000-8,000 that are going to go there to every game. Right. You're not going to have to convince us.
Right.
But if you want to get the rest of the people going, you're going to have to win and entertain. Unfortunately, look what happened to the Panthers now. This is devastating to them.
Yes.
Because you could go have another great regular season again, and your entire community is going to say that means nothing. Those guys choke in the playoffs all the time, and
Right.
that's yeah, earning the trust like the Heat have done. It's a really hard thing to do in this town. You know, the Dolphins live off of their tradition, but
Right.
the Heat is the only one that's actually like earned everybody's trust, and that's what that's what the hockey team has got to do. That's what the Marlins have got to do. They've got to cross that threshold.
Yep, absolutely. Well, they're definitely playing a much more entertaining style. The
love
spirit seems to be good. You know, Higuain, it's been tough for him. He has been basically told, you are a role player and
Right.
you have to accept that or you're not going to play, but you're not a starter. You know,
The other
you are a
night,
role
that was
player.
embarrassing. They just pushed the old man aside in the box, and he's just lying
Yeah.
on the floor going, it looked to me like when he fell on the floor, he's like, wow, dude, I'm really old. I can't even stand up in this league and you know, do the things I used to do in other leagues. It
Yeah.
is really amazing the fall from grace for this guy in this league.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
sad. I mean, it is sad in a way to see him when
It
he
is.
does go out there, you notice the difference. You would say that guy is old and slow compared to the other guys on the team. I mean, they really have amped up their speed and their youth. And even Yedlin, who's not, you know, he's in his late 20s, but he's super fast. You know, so yeah, I mean, Gonzalo has had to accept that he's going to have a role to play and Phil can still use him, but he's not going to be the star probably of this team. And he's not going to be the focal point of the team anymore, even though he's the only DP. He's the only DP on the team. He's the highest paid player by far on this team, but he is not the focal point. And I think they're just going to, you know, they just want him to finish this last season with dignity, you know, to have some dignity. And then that's it. I mean, you know, he's going to be done at the end of this year. I would
of
assume
course.
he'll
But
retire.
Michelle, think about that. The 5 DPs, they whiffed on all 5 DPs that I mean, it was illegal in the first place that you had 5 DPs.
Right.
But the fact that you were that bad and you missed on all 5 DPs, that's so devastating to this franchise. That's why they're in this position, because you made so many bad decisions early on. You buried your franchise now, and now it's Chris Henderson's job to kind of unearth them and figure it all out. But you think about that, that's hard to do, man.
Yeah.
I mean, DPs, you get to pick your guys. It's not like a draft that you're stuck with whatever. You actually picked these guys thinking that they were going to be impactful players for you from different parts of the world, and you missed on all 5. Holy moly. Wow.
Yeah, not a good recommendation for the previous you know, leaders of the management here. But the owners,
hold on a second.
No, the owners are to blame. Jorge and David are to blame. Yes.
No, and Matuidi had nothing to do with McDonough. You know what I mean? So, you know, we also have to say, hey, you know, David, you're at fault here too. You know, this, you know, you had a hand in all of this too at the same time.
Yeah, they did, and
it wasn't only Paul McDonough.
No, it was not. No, it was not only Paul McDonough, but the ownership gave him too much free reign. You know, they didn't. There wasn't enough vetting going on with the scouting department. It was basically like they just trusted him. They thought, hey, he built Atlanta. Atlanta was, you know, he had this great reputation from Atlanta, so whatever he says must be good. He's the great architect of MLS teams, and they didn't really do any homework. And then they pushed people through, you know, because, you know, Blaze had won a World Cup and Gonzalo had a great reputation as a finisher, and they needed a finisher. But obviously it was, you know, those were not the best decisions for sure.
No, definitely not.
The team is much more fun now. Much more fun now.
Oh, I love watching this team now, at least because there's something there, maybe something you can build on. And then, you know, hopefully now with drafts down the line, I think Chris Henderson will do a much better job as long as they allow him to do his job. All right, walk us through tonight. Give us a preview of tonight, what to expect. What does Inter have to do in order to pick up a big victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a game that they can win. You know, Portland even though Portland was in the finals last year, so that's obviously a team that has talent. But they've got a couple guys banged up. I think one of their top players, I'm forgetting who, is suspended, red card suspension or yellow card accumulation, whatever. They have only 3 wins so far this season. They have the same number of points as Intermiami, 15, but they have mostly ties. They've had trouble scoring. So this is a team that, on paper, they had to fly across the country. Now, they did not play on Wednesday. So they've had, presumably they have fresher legs because they did not play on Wednesday in a game that went all the way to, 131 minutes, including the PKs and all that. So Miami's players' legs are going to be heavy, but Portland has flown across the country. Also, if you've been outside today, it is extremely hot today. And so, I would think that heat and humidity will work in Miami's favor. Portland, the weather in Portland is nothing like the weather here. And even the other teams they play are mostly on the West Coast and, colder, drier places. So the weather should be in their favor. It would be nice if they have a good crowd. It's a Saturday night. They've been playing well, if they could get a good crowd out there. And I think that this is a game that's winnable. Like I said, Portland doesn't score very much, and Drake Callender has been playing great in goal. Clean sheets, 2 or 3 clean sheets out of the last 3 games. So he's been able to stop, in the defense. The back line has been playing really well, even when they had Ryan Saylor in there, a new kid out of college. He's been holding his own. Mabika is back, and he's been doing a good job. Damian Lowe is a real leader in the back. He's the captain of the Jamaican team. He's a real team leader kind of guy. He talks a lot. He instructs the guys a lot. He's really been good. You have
less, and we're committing less stupid fouls on the back line too.
Yes, we're not. Yeah, you're not seeing the yellow cards and the red cards that you were seeing with Figal
and LGP. Yes,
LGP, super aggressive. Both of them, very aggressive players, very fiery, but also like numbers 1 and 2, whatever, on the yellow card and red card list. Yeah.
Too many stupid fouls.
Yeah, they're playing smarter. They're playing smarter. They're playing quicker, and they're playing more together as a team. And so all of those ingredients bode well for the future of the team, I think.
I'm with you there. All right. Follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports, and make sure you catch her work there at the Miami Herald. Subscribe like I do and support all of our journalists. Michelle, as always, thank you for taking some time. Enjoy the football. Game. Yeah, man.
Enjoy the game tonight on CBS 4 and Unimas and whatever. Okay.
You got it. Be good, Michelle.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Got it. There you go. The great Michelle Kaufman, man. We love her. All right, quick.